Well, it is Wednesday, and I am back in the office. I haven't been back for quite some time back on YouTube, but want to make this video. It's been a busy week for our law firm, both in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. This past week, I was away a little bit last week, and just getting back in the swing of things. Coming back from San Diego, California, with my family. But now we're fully back in both Pennsylvania and New Jersey, so it's been a busy week. I did put together a podcast with Rick Collins over the weekend, and you can find that on our YouTube page, and it'll soon be uploaded to our website at gambonelaw.com. With that said, put out a blog article regarding stop and frisk. Now, illegal search and seizure has always been a hot topic in any criminal defense case, and the issue of stop and frisk is a big issue in the Philadelphia mayoral election because a lot of candidates have brought it out as potentially an illegal practice. And the truth is that it's not. It is perfectly constitutional, and the Supreme Court has said it's constitutional in the Terry v. Ohio case. Now, in that case, there was a legal argument regarding illegal search and seizure, and what the Supreme Court said is yes, that the stop and frisk was a violation of the constitutional right, but it was a permissible violation given the public interest in keeping people safe. And that really lies the argument. Police officer may stop someone and may perform a pat-down search, otherwise known as a Terry frisk, a Terry stop, and to identify whether or not the person presents a threat to the officer or perhaps others. So that's the issue. Now, really, the candidates who have deemed it an illegal practice are simply not correct, because the issue of whether or not it's illegal really isn't up to the mayor or any politician. It's up to the judge in the courtroom, and really police can do it. Whether or not the evidence is admissible later on is a different story. So there are some candidates who are okay with kind of pushing the envelope, and other candidates have strictly said, well, if they were mayor, they would simply do away with the policy. But the truth is they really can't. They can obviously direct the police commissioner in Philadelphia to adopt a policy that perhaps changes the police's policy with regards to stopping and frisking. But it's kind of a tough issue because you're dealing with officer safety, you're dealing with public safety. And as soon as you have an issue where an officer or a citizen is unfortunately seriously injured or even killed, and the press comes to find out that this could have been avoided because there could have been a stop and frisk done prior to the incident. Perhaps there was a large gathering of people, and police were told not to perform stop and frisk if they believed the person perhaps possessed a weapon. And in fact, that person did possess a weapon and the incident occurred. So it's kind of an issue that is a hot button issue. We're going to see it a lot, not just in Philadelphia, but all over. But it is constitutional that an officer can stop a person and perform a pat-down search, whether it be following a vehicle stop or a pedestrian stop, if they believe the person presents a threat to the officer. Now, they can't do a search. A search requires a probable cause scenario, but if the officer feels something that appears to be a gun or some other type of contraband based on their education and the training, they can go further and seize the item. So in the blog article, I kind of lay out the standard, how long can the stop last, what the officer needs to conduct a search. And really, remember, in Pennsylvania, warrantless searches of a vehicle are now illegal unless the item's in plain view or unless there's some other issue with regards to the search itself. In New Jersey, they don't need a warrant to search a car, so warrantless searches are permissible in a state like New Jersey. But if you have questions, 215-755-9000 in Pennsylvania, 856-793-7429 in New Jersey, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Website, gambonelaw.com. As always, a tremendous resource for you and your family. All of my books, my blogs, my videos are available there in one convenient format. In addition, we have our podcast, like I said before, our latest podcast with Rick Collins to talk about telemedicine and TRT and the proposed DEA regulation regarding controlled substances and the ability to obtain them through telemedicine. The latest proposal is kind of restricting it in some ways, but as Rick goes on to explain, in that podcast, which I invite you to read my article on it, which which is on our website, and also visit the YouTube page and learn more about the podcast and what Rick has to say. But basically, telemedicine is potentially the ability to get a controlled substance through telemedicine isn't being done away with, but it does require a doctor's visit at some point in time, whether it be 30 days or 180 days in some situations. Again, if you have questions, 215-755-9000 in Pennsylvania, 856-793-7429 in New Jersey, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's been a while since I've done a YouTube video. I'm glad to be back, and I'll talk to you all very soon.